Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey everyone, Shikha here. Welcome to another episode of the Millionaire Hippie podcast. I am so grateful again that you're choosing to spend your busy lives and choosing to spend a few minutes with me in this podcast, listening to my thoughts and my wise words of wisdom, if you can call it that. Today I wanted to actually speak to you guys about the creativity workshops that I am running in Chiang Mai. And one of the topics that I recently discussed in that workshop with the participants was the deep connection between creativity and sexuality. So I wanted to just expound on that a little bit and help you figure out how maybe you're distracting yourself from your creativity by using sex. And this is actually something that I read about first in the book called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I've talked about that book before. It is one of my Bibles. I love that book. It is brilliant, and Steven Pressfield is absolutely amazing. I love him. So in that book, one of the major learnings that I had was, and there were many, but one of them was that sex in our culture is used as a form of easy, instant gratification and distraction. So sex is actually amazing. I mean, we all love sex. We all love to do it. But what happens with sex is that because it's an instant source of joy and an instant source of gratification, we can actually start using it as a tool to distract ourselves from the work that we're supposed to be doing. Now, the intention behind the sexual act obviously matters. A lot of sex isn't about distraction. A lot of sex is just about having fun and connecting with that individual that you love or like or lust after. So a lot of sex isn't about distraction. The intention matters. But a lot of sex is actually truly about distraction. And what we're doing is that we're trying to get away from that feeling of fear. You know, we are afraid to do our work. We're afraid to be successful or failures. And so instead of actually doing the work that we're supposed to be doing, writing that book, finishing that essay, finishing that PowerPoint presentation, doing that TED Talk, whatever it might be for you, you know, you're supposed to be doing certain works. There's a reason you're on this planet. There's a reason you're spending your time here. And you know that, you know what you're supposed to be doing, but we're afraid to do that work because if we do that work, it means there's a chance that we might fail. There's a chance that we'll be ridiculed. There's a chance that we'll get embarrassed. There's a chance that we'll be ostracized by society. There's a chance for a lot of different things in our heads. There are stories that we make up of things that might happen that never actually come to fruition in reality. But these are ways that we keep ourselves from achieving and keep ourselves from finishing that true work that we're supposed to be doing here on this planet. And sex is a very amazing, great tool to distract ourselves from the work that we're supposed to be doing. Now, sexuality and creativity are extremely connected because what we can do is sexual energy can be transmuted or transferred or used to create. So sexuality or sexual energy in itself is a really powerful form of energy. A lot of masters in the past, a lot of spiritual leaders, a lot of religious leaders, all of them, talk about celibacy. And I think the reason they talk about celibacy is not because they want you not to have fun anymore or you want to control yourself, but I think it's because sexual energy is so powerful. I mean, it's the essential form of creation. You're creating a form of life through the sexual act, through sexual energy. And so it's a really powerful form of energy. And instead of just letting it go in the form of an orgasm, you're just letting it go and just getting it out into the ether, what they recommend is through celibacy or through certain exercises, one of which I'll talk about, you keep that energy inside of yourself. And you use that energy, you transfer it into all the different chakras, and you're able to transfer that energy into your third eye, into your mind, and use that to create beautiful pieces of work. Whatever that work might be for you. It might be a business for some people. It might be a book for other people. It might be a podcast for others. Whatever that creation is for you, it does not matter the form of it. But what they're trying to tell you to do is use that celibacy, use that sexual pent-up desire or energy in order to create, transfer it, transmute it into creativity. And that's really, really powerful. I've actually found it for myself that when I do go through periods of celibacy or periods where I am not thinking about sex, but I'm in a focused state of creativity, I create so much stuff. I write a lot. I'm able to paint a lot. I'm able to sing a lot. I'm able to do all the different things that I love to do. And I'm able to put more parts of myself into it. When I am distracted by sex or by a relationship or by a man, then a lot of my energy, my mental space, my sexual energy, my creativity is all directed towards that person. I'm thinking about ways that I can make them happy. I'm thinking about ways that I can please them. I'm thinking about ways that we can meet up. I'm thinking about ways that we should hang out. And all of that distracts me from creativity. So all of that creative energy that I could potentially be using to creating a book or writing a book or creating a work of art is being directed to that individual. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing. We want to have balance in our life, and we don't always just want to be creating, but we want to start being more intentional about our creativity and using our sexual energy to create. So instead of just letting your sexuality just dissipate every single time, no matter what you're doing, if you're in an act with someone else or by yourself, think about how you could produce that sexual energy and transmute it or transfer it into a different form where you can actually use it instead of just letting it go into the ether in the form of an orgasm or letting it go, whatever, the way you do it, right? So that's actually the connection that I'm trying to make here. And one of the exercises that we've talked about, that I was talking about earlier, one of the exercises would be using that point of orgasm. So you're in a sexual act, wherever you are, and you're about to come, you're about to get into that state of letting go, and instead of flow into the ether, you hold it inside of yourself and you don't let that sexual energy dissipate into the atmosphere. You keep it in, you hold it in, and you use that energy, you transmute it, transfer it, imagine it as a light, and transfer it into your project. So use that energy in order to create. And it's really, really powerful because a lot of individuals have noticed that when they actually do that, they're able to go after and write like a fiend. They can actually use that energy in order to write thousands of words or to paint not a thousand paintings, but 10 or 15 paintings at once. A lot of that energy can be used in order to create amazing things in your life. It doesn't have to be every single time because it'll just be too frustrating for you to do that. But maybe once in a while, think about doing that exercise. Think about how you can use that energy for creativity rather than just letting it go. Another exercise that I would recommend for you is to use that sexual energy and a meditation form. So while you're meditating, think about your sexual energy that you have inside of you. Think about your sexual chakra. Maybe clench and release your PC muscle, that muscle that we use in order to hold the flow of urine, and use that stirring or lust or whatever you are feeling, that sexual energy growing in your loins, use that in order to liven up the project that you're working on. So in a meditative state, think about doing it, visualize it, and then from that visualization, when you are sitting down after the meditation, working on your project, you'll be able to really, really feel that sexual energy being transferred into your creative energy. And that transmutation is really, really going to be very powerful and absolutely life-changing for you. And again, this is a practice that you don't have to do every single time, but you can try it out and see how you feel about it. Some people find it extremely easy to transmute sexual energy into creativity. Other people find it extremely hard. So it depends on the individual themselves. A lot of times what we do with sexual energy, if we have pent-up energy, is that we will go and punch a boxing bag, or we'll go to Muay Thai, or we'll do some martial arts, or we'll go to the gym and we'll run it out. A lot of times that's a good way, that's a great physical way to let it go. But like I said again, you're just letting all that beautiful energy dissipate into the atmosphere, and you're not actually really using it to change your life. And I don't want to say that we need to do this again every single time, but once in a while, think about when you are restless and when you feel like going to punch a bag or use that physical energy, let go of that pent up sexual desire. Think about sitting down in the meditative state and moving that energy into your creativity rather than letting it just go into the ether. So I hope that this kind of helps you a little bit. It's just something that I've been thinking about for a while, some things that I've been talking to people about a lot, and I hope that this helps you in figuring out maybe an exercise for yourself to transmute your sexual, powerful, beautiful energy into some sort of creativity. Again, my name is Boom Shikha, and if you guys are interested, you can check out my website, themillionairehippie.com. If not, I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.